Okay then, so welcome back to another glorious day in the Corps. This time we're doing the mission for Retrieve mission. Now this is one specific to the expansion pack. Essentially at the start of the mission, if she's alive, which she is, Newt is automatically captured and placed into the hive. It's up to us to go and rescue her and any other captured characters if we want to. Gorman was captured in the last one, so he's here as well. So currently there is only Ripley and Vasquez alive at the moment. It's up to them to recapture Newt and Gorman and get out to the extraction on the exit side of this here, which will open up from turn 6. The problem is directly between us and the extraction site is the alien queen and her hive. So it's a bit of a shorter board in general, but we do have to try and go through here. So the way the queen works for this one is she will not move until at least one alien egg has been destroyed or she's directly attacked. The eggs count as alien models for all purposes except they cannot move or attack, but they do stop movement. So we are going to have to either slowly shuffle past them or destroy them in order to get going. There are some blips on the board in the hive to begin with, and all the spawn points are quite near to us. And since there's only 2 characters alive in this one, it is looking like it might be a bit dicey. Because of that, I've switched Ripley over to the enraged board. So what this does is, instead of Ripley's usual ability of exhausting 2 cards and drawing 1 at the start of each turn, she automatically exhausts 5 cards, but can take 3 actions in a turn. As a passive, if we do find one, she may also equip a flamethrower as a backup weapon. I'm thinking we need this one because, yes, it's going to exhaust a hell of a lot of cards whilst it's doing it, but we do not have enough bodies to be doing actions at this point, so I'm kind of hoping that that'll offset that and still allow us to get done what we need to. She can actually pick Newt up and carry her. What that will do is it basically put Newt on her character board. Newt must rest while she is there, but Ripley is carrying her about all over the place, so it's basically meaning we don't have to choose between Newt moving or resting. So we should be able to get those exhaust cards back. Okay, so I've never played this mission before, so let's see how we get into then with the Retrieve mission. So first off, start of the Marine phase on turn 1. Enraged Ripley exhausts 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she gets to take 3 actions. So first one, she will move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for her second one, she'll interact with Gorman. So Gorman is now free of his restraints. He is part of the fire team again, and he can take an action as part of this, but he doesn't have any equipment from when he was captured, so he's currently without arms at all. So that was her second action to interact with Gorman, so we'll get her to move again. 1, 2, 3, 4, next to Newt there. Gorman may take 1 activation on the turn he's rescued, and for that we will get him to rest. So he will recycle 3 of these cards back in. So Vasquez is on Overwatch with the smart gun down the hallway, and so what I will get her to do is rest once and then do an aim action to increase her aim from 6 to 7. Okay, so that's it for the Marines on turn 1. We've got Gorman back on side, but he doesn't have any weapons or armour, and we're going to get Newt next time. But now we go into the alien phase, starting with active aliens. The queen doesn't move until her or her eggs have been attacked, but there are active blips on the board. So let's see how far those blips go. 1 space. And for this mission, we actually draw motion trackers from turn 1, but also from turn 5 we draw an additional motion tracker card. So currently we're drawing 2, but when it gets to turn 5 we start drawing 3. So first one. Blip on 3. Exhaust a card for each character within line of sight when it spawns. Spawn point, new blip I guess. Spawn point is there. There is a door there. Nobody can see that blip for now. And as for the second one. Oh god, a tunnel. Right, we'll reveal a card first. It's blue. There are 2 blips on this tunnel token. Okay then, so a tunnel spawns next to Ripley and we put 2 blips onto it. 1, 2. They are both in line of sight, so let's see what they are. 3 xenomorphs, 1 xenomorph. So as Ripley's freeing the captives, 4 xenomorphs have immediately come out the walls to challenge her and stop her from going forward, with an additional 1 creeping up slowly on Vasquez. As we move into then, turn 2. So, start of turn 2, Ripley activates, exhausting 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for her first action, she will interact with Newt to free her from her restraints. So Newt is now part of the team again. And for her second action, we'll get her to shoot at the single Xenomorph stood next to her. So she has a smart gun currently, so we exhaust 3 cards to fire. 2 dice, hitting on 7 or less on either. Yep, kills. That Xenomorph dies. And for her third action, we shall get her to move back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Newt gets an activation on the turn she's freed. She moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gorman gets 2 activations. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, Vasquez can draw a line of sight to those Xenomorphs, so she will open up with the smart gun, spending 2 cards to do so, hitting on 6 or less on either. That's a 2, kills 1. Spends another card, 5 or less. That's a 5, kills another. Spend another card, 4s or less. That's a 3. Vasquez kills the stack. And for her second action, because that blip's probably going to surprise us, Vasquez will take a aim action, increasing her aim dial from 4 to 5. So just in anticipation of those Xenomorphs coming round the corner. Okay, that's our Marines done. So on to Xenomorph Phase again. First off, blips on this board, how far do they go? 3. This blip here, how far does that go? 3. 1, 2, 3. Is in range of Gorman, so it makes an attack. It's 3 Xenomorphs. So 3 Xenomorphs have come out the door and are attacking Gorman on his retreating. So they move to get there, so Vasquez can see them. She will open up with a smart gun, spending 2 cards to do so. Because she took an aim action, she is hitting on 5s or less. That's a 2, kills 1. Spends another card, 4s or less. No. So she just kills the 1. So 2 Xenomorphs survive to make a swipe at Gorman, so we add 1 to the roll. Gorman's melee is 1 and his defensive is 4. That's a 2, becomes a 3. So within Gorman's defense value still, he's fine, but the Xenomorphs are very much alive still. Motion trackers then. First one, blip on 1. If it already has an alien model, it moves a couple of spaces. There is no blips on 1, it just spawns in. Next one. Blip on 2. If the spawn point already has a blip, there are currently no blips on spawn point 2, so it just pops in there. Okay, Queen obviously doesn't move, so on to then turn 3. So at the start of our activation, Ripley exhausts 5 endurance cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she moves up to 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll get her to attack with her smart gun, spending 3 cards to do it because she's not trained in it. Hits on 7 or less. Kills 1. Spend another card, 6 or less. Kills another. So both Xenomorphs have been killed by Ripley and the smart gun. For her third action then, we will get Ripley to rest. And as part of the rest action, you can first draw 2 cards to put in your hand. 2 events. And then we recycle 3 cards. Okay then, next, Newt activates and moves twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We'll try and get Ripley to pick her up next turn. Gorman, I think we'll stay there in anticipation of the blips coming round to us. So Gorman will stay and rest twice, recycling 6 cards back in. So those blips could potentially reach Vasquez if they get a 6, but 1 in 6 chance, I'm hoping it's unlikely. So instead of getting Vasquez to aim, I'll instead get her to rest twice and recycle 6 more cards back in. Okay then, that's the Marines done. So on to the Alien Phase. Queen doesn't move, so no active Xenomorphs. So we roll the blips. Blips on this board, how far do they move? 5. This one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both of them are now in line of sight, so we flip them. 1 Xenomorph and a single Xenomorph. Blips on this board. They move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't finish where its friend is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same deal. They're both in line of sight, however. Another 5 xenomorphs, and these blips here move 6. 1, 2. So a conga line of xenomorphs has appeared between us and our escape route. Into motion tracker cards then. First one. Single blip on 3. No, it does not move. It just spawns on spawn point 3. And the next one. Recycle a card. Yes, please. Okay then, so moving into turn 4. So, first off, Ripley activates, exhausting 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For her first action, she will pick up Newt. So, Newt is now being carried by Ripley, so she goes onto her character board. And because of that, we will swap Ripley's model to the imaged one carrying Newt. For her second action then, because the black line is actually there on the corner, she can draw a line of sight where she currently is to that entire conga line. So let's get her to open up with the smart gun. Hitting the first xenomorph on 7 or less on either. That's a 3, kills it. Spends a card. Next one, 6s or less. Yep, that's a 4, kills the next one. Spend another card, 5s or less. Star, kills that. Next one, 4s or less. That's a 2. So she's killed 4 xenomorphs so far, which is the first one, and then this stack of 3. Now she's hitting on 3s or less into the next one. We might as well keep pushing it. 3s or less on either. That's a star, kills 1. Next one, let's try it. 2s or less, see if we can wipe them. No, unlucky. But we still kill another xenomorph. So then, for Ripley's next action, do we rest or aim? I think we'll rest. We try to need to get Gorman armed with something. So we'll take a rest action with Ripley. So she draws 2 cards. And then recycles 3 back in. Since Newt is currently being carried by Ripley, the only thing she can do is rest. So she will rest twice, getting 8 cards back in. Gorman currently doesn't have a weapon to attack with, so we'll get him to rest twice as well, getting 6 cards back in. Next, we've got Vasquez. There are 2 xenomorphs in front of it, so let's see if we can't try and clear them out. Spends 2 cards for her to use the smart gun, hitting on 6s or less with either dice. That's a 5, kills 1. Spends another card, 5s or less on either dice. That's a 4, kills the other. Both xenomorphs have died. So, similar situation as last time. Those 3 blips could potentially reach Vasquez, but only one of them will be able to this time. That one from 3 might come out and surprise us. Gorman's not armed with anything. It's probably better to hold position for now. So we'll get Vasquez to rest with her next action. Getting 3 cards back in. Okay then, into the aiming phase. No active xenomorphs on the board, so we go straight to blips. The ones on this board, how far do they move? 5 spaces. This one moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and is visible. It's 2 xenomorphs. This one moves 5. 1, 2, 3. Single xenomorph makes an attack against Ripley. We'll get Vasquez to shoot, exhausting 2 cards to do so for defensive fire. So 2 dice, and she is hitting on 4s or less with either. Misses. Let's get Ripley to attack then, exhausting 3 cards to do so. Hitting on 3s or less on either. Misses. So this xenomorph that has just crept up makes an attack against Ripley. Ripley's defense value is 6, her melee is 2. Let's roll it. It's a 3, she survives but does not kill it. So that xenomorph is still there. Then we've got the blips on this board. How far do they move? 1. Single movement for all of them. Nope, Vasquez can't see that one just yet. Okay. Then we have motion tracker cards. 2 of them. Reveal a card. It's red. Place 2 blips at spawn point 2. 1, 2. And because we reveal a red, we do have to play it. Place on your character each time the character activates, reveal a card. Oh god. This might kill us eventually. but that goes on Ripley's card. Okay, next motion tracker. Recycle a card. Okay, and that's the end of the Xenomorphs then. Going into turn 5. From the end of this turn, we are drawing 3 motion tracker cards. Okay, so we really need to start making moves to the escape if we can. First off, Ripley activates. Each time the character activates, reveal a card. It's yellow, exhaust 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the start of her activation anyway, she exhausts 5. 1, 2, 3, need to reshuffle, but 4, 5. Okay then, so start of Ripley's turn. Let's try and make some moves, I think. 1, 2, 3, she'd have to stop there. Actually no, let's open up first, because hopefully we can kill those 3 Xenomorphs before we have to move. So, we shall spend 3 cards for her to fire off her smart gun. Hitting 7s or less on either, on the Xenomorph next to her. That's a 2, kills it. Next for that 2 over there, 6s or less. Gets another. Spend another card, 5s or less. Yes, so Ripley kills all 3 Xenomorphs in the immediate vicinity. So for her second one, she will move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which does reveal these 2 blips here. 4 and 3 Xenomorphs. So some more Xenomorphs around in the corner there. And we are burning through these cards quick, and we still need to get an equipment to give to Gorman. So we'll get her to rest, drawing 2 cards. Pulse rifle. Event. Yep, pulse rifle is what we really need though. We can give that to Gorman next turn. And then recycles 3 back in. Okay, so Newt rests automatically in Ripley's arm, so she gets 8 cards back in. Gorman still doesn't have a weapon. We'll get him to move once, 1, 2, 3, and rest once, getting 3 back in. Then we'll activate Vasquez, who will move 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll open up into these Xenomorphs here. She can also see that blip there from there. It's 2 Xenomorphs. So quite a few Xenomorphs for Vasquez to try and shoot at. So we'll spend 2 cards for her to use a smart gun. 1. So hitting on 6s or less on either dice. That's a 6, kills 1. Spend another card. 5s or less. Gets a 3. Spend another. 4s or less. No, so we killed 2 Xenomorphs. So reduce the pile, but there's still very much some active and angry Xenomorphs after us there. Okay, so start the alien phase. We'll get these Xenomorphs here to have a go at Vasquez. They move up. So we'll get Vasquez to fire defensively with a smart gun first, spending 2 cards to do so. And now she is hitting on 3s or less with 2 dice. Misses. Ripley stood right behind it and can see from there, so we'll spend another 3 cards for her to use her smart gun, hitting on 7s or less. Misses. Okay, so we'll play this before Vasquez makes her defense roll. So reveal a card. It's yellow. Recycle 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3, and this one gets exhausted. Okay then, so that stack of 3 Xenomorphs takes a swipe at Vasquez. They are adding 2 to the result. Vasquez's defense is 3 and her melee is 1. So only a star will prevent her from being knocked down. That is a kill. Okay, she does have a helmet. Bearing in mind Ripley doesn't have a free reroll ability because we're using a different profile. So we have to rely on the helmet. So if you fail a defense roll, reveal a card. It's green, counters passing that defense roll. That is amazingly lucky. So the next 2 Xenomorphs move in and also have a swipe at Vasquez. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there, nobody else can see them. So Vasquez would be hitting on 2s or less, but we kind of need to do some damage. So we'll spend the 2 cards for it to have a go. Needing 2s or less. Nope. Fails, so misses with the smart gun. So There are 2 Xenomorphs, adding 1 to this roll. Vasquez's defense is 3, her melee is 1. That's also a kill. Okay, come on, helmet. Come on. Nope. Helmet fails us. Fails Vasquez. That Xenomorph kills Vasquez. Oh dear. And there's still more on the board. This one moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can squeeze in there. Has a go at Ripley and Newt. Okay then, so Ripley's going to fire her smart gun, spending 3 cards to do so. 2, 3. And she is hitting on 6s or less. That's a 3, kills 1. Spend another card, hitting 5s or less. Yes, kills them both. So, even though they've taken Vasquez down, Ripley has managed to hold off the Xenomorphs for now. Okay then, so active blips. There are 2 on the board. How far do they move? 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then motion tracker cards. We are drawing 3 from now. Blip on 2. Discard a barricade or place another blip at spawn 1. There are no barricades to discard, so 1 on 2, 1 on 1. Next one. Oh, another tunnel. Reveal a card. Yellow, so we place 1 blip on that tunnel token. So another tunnel has appeared next to Ripley. We place a blip on it. It's 3 Xenomorphs. And they pop up right next to Ripley. Last motion tracker card. Do we have anything? No, we don't. 2 blips on 3. Either exhaust 4 cards or place another. We don't have the cards to exhaust at this point. So we place 1 blip on 1 and 2 on 3. Okay. Moving into turn 6. If we can ever make it to the exit is now open to us. But, oh boy. So, start the marine phase. Ripley still has a hazard card, so we have to reveal one. It's green. We lose an action this turn, so we only get 2 actions for Ripley. But we still have to exhaust 5 cards. 1, 2. So before we do anything, let's get Gorman equipped. So we spend 3 cards and 2 to give him the helmet and the pulse rifle for a total of 5. Ripley's first action, then we've got no choice really. We have to fire off that smart gun. 3 cards to do so. Hitting on 7s or less. That's a 7, kills 1. Spend another card, 6s or less. Misses. So she kills a single Xenomorph. It's expensive, but we're going to have to keep doing it. We're going to have to exhaust another 3 cards. Reshuffle those in a sec. To keep firing. So spend 3 cards, reshuffle those. We keep firing with Ripley. She is now hitting on 5s or less. That's a 4, kills 1. Spend another card, 4s or less. That's a 4, kills another. Spend another card, 3s or less. That's a 3. Spend another card, 2s or less. No. So she's killed 3 Xenomorphs, which is enough to get rid of the stack on the tunnel and one of the guys over there. So thinning out the Xenomorphs, but not quite enough. Newt's in Ripley's arm. She rests twice, recycling 8 cards. Gorman does have line of sight to those Xenomorphs, so we'll get him to open up with the pulse rifle. Spending a card to do so. He is hitting on a 4 or less. Nope, that's a miss. And I think at this point he would be more valuable if we just got him to rest and recycled some cards back in. 1. So, start of the alien phase. We'll get the aliens to move up. Start with this big stack. Goes in front of Ripley, has a swipe. Okay, so since Ripley would actually be hitting on 1s or less, it is highly unlikely that she's going to actually kill the Xenomorphs. Even then, they're still going to attack her, so I don't think it's actually worth doing Overwatch fire. Gorman can't see past her, so he can't help. But those ones, there is 3 in the stack, so adding 2 to the results on a defense value against Ripley. Ripley's defense is 6 and the melee is 2. That's a 4. Adding 2 to the result becomes 6, so she does actually survive the attack by the Xenomorphs. Next one can't really get the space to attack, so he just stays where he is. And that's active Xenomorphs done. So, blips on the board then. One's on this board. How far do they move? 4 spaces. 3, 4. Okay, so these 2 can be seen from there. but these two cannot, so another 3 Xenomorphs creeping up behind us, and we'll get these blips here. They move 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This one probably can be seen by Ripley from there. It's another 3 Xenomorphs. Let's get those models on the board. Okay then, so there are starting to become more Xenomorphs on the board than we can actually kind of deal with, and there's still more yet to come. We draw 3 motion tracker cards. Recycle a card. Blip on 3, there's no barricades in place, so we place 1 on 1 as well. So, blip on 3, blip on 1. Next one, recycle a card. Okay. Okay then, so start of marine activation. First of all, we have to draw a card for Ripley's hazard. It's yellow, we exhaust 4 cards. And at the start of our activation, Ripley automatically exhausts 5. But she does have 3 actions this turn. So we'll get her to fire the smart gun for 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. 3 in the stack in front of her, hitting on 7s or less. Kills 1. Spend another card, 6 or less. Yes, spend another. 5s or less. Yes. 1 more for the one at the back, hopefully. 4s or less. No, misses. So 3 Xenomorphs have been killed. So if we want to go anywhere, we do have to kill that last Xenomorph in front of us. So it's expensive, but we're going to have to fire the smart gun again. 3 cards. So 4s or less for the Xenomorph directly in front of us. Kills it. Do we spend or do we run? I think we're going to have to run. So we kill that one, and Ripley will move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and has to stop next to those Xenomorphs there. Also, since Ripley's there, she can see a lot more blips. She can see that one, that one, that one, and that one. So let's get those models on the board. So we'll get Ripley to rest and hopefully try and draw some cards. We draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Yeah, I think we're going to have to try and offer up Gorman as bait to stop them from swamping Ripley. So Gorman will move 1, 2, 3. And he will take a rest action to get some more cards back in. Newt also rests twice for 8 cards. Okay then, so that's the marine phase done. Onto the Xenomorph phase. So, we'll start with that to Xenomorphs. We'll get this one guy to move up to Gorman. 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes a swipe at him. Gorman will spend a card to shoot off with the pulse rifle, hitting on a 4 or less. Hits, kills. That Xenomorph dies. We'll then get this next stack to come in and attack him. 1, 2. So there are 4 Xenomorphs attacking Gorman. Might as well chance it, spend another card to defensive fire. Hits on a 3 or less. Kills it. Do we push our luck? Why not? 2 or less. Nope. So he just kills 1. And that Xenomorph takes a swipe at Gorman. We add 2 to the value. Gorman's defense value is 4. So 8, so he's not killed, but he is knocked down. So Gorman gets knocked down. There are 3 Xenomorphs next to Ripley. She can't defensive fire them because they're right next to us, so they just attack. Ripley's defense value is 6 and a melee is 2, adding 2 to the result for the stack. That becomes 5, which is still within Ripley's defense value, so she's fine against those ones. These Xenomorphs come in and attack. Now, because they move to get there, I think she can shoot at them, so we'll spend 3 cards to do so. Hitting on 4s or less on either. Misses. So they attack Ripley. There is 3 in the stack, adding 2 to the result. Her defense value is 6. That's a kill. Ripley does have some body armor, so reveal a card. It's yellow, re-roll that defense roll. Star. Adds 2 to the result though, so she doesn't kill the Xenomorphs, but she does survive the encounter. This Xenomorph moves up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stops there, can't stand where Gorman is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they have a swipe at Ripley. We'll be hitting on 2s or less with the smart gun, so it's not worth it. There are 2 of them in the stack. Ripley's defense value is 6. 8 becomes 10. That would also be a kill. So reveal a card for the body armor. It's blue. Exhaust the card. And I don't think we have anything to help with that. Nope. I think that's Ripley killed. Ripley is killed. Drops Newt where she is. And I think at that point it's safe we can call it game over. Gorman's knocked down. I've got nothing to stand him back up. Newt doesn't have a weapon. I think that is a mission failure. So, we knew it would be a long shot going in, what with only 2 active characters on the board, but Vasquez died, Ripley died, Gorman's been knocked down, presumably to be immediately recaptured, Newt's got nothing to defend herself with. Yeah, that's us finished, and that's our campaign ending in failure. So, how to continue on with here? I could just do the final mission as a one-off, or we can save it and wait for a future time where I might do a multiplayer campaign when the lockdown ends and we can get other players in. Maybe I'll play the Xenomorph Hive. That could be quite interesting for a restart of the campaign. But please let me know in the comments what you'd like to do and see with that, and we'll take that into account as we go forward. But do you know what? Sometimes that's just what you get when you have another glorious day in the Corps. Didn't go well this particular time, but still a good mission nonetheless. So, thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you in another one.